There was some interesting news circulating around XRP, and I get questions about this all the time. Crypto analyst explains how XRP could see a massive 4,500% jump to $27. And I'll tell you one thing straight away. I'm always very realistic when it comes to the XRP price, my expectations, and what I think people should be aiming for and expecting. What I've often said is that this run thus far, XRP has not performed too great, and many other altcoins could have gotten you way more gains. Let's be serious. But here comes the kicker. I, for the most part, believe that many people invested into XRP for a certain reason. That reason being that the financial landscape is going to be changed. We've seen BlackRock talk about how everything needs to be tokenized and move seamlessly. And that seamless movement, obviously, is also one of the core missions as to why XRP even exists. Of course, we've got the XRP ETFs coming up. We've got a lot of cool new features for the XP Ledger and the lawsuit getting over. And that's actually where I want to get to with this video. Whenever I see articles like this, I think of two people. Some that have no idea what's going on and are just hoping for a high price without thinking too much, right? Just following an article, following a random guy on Twitter that's feeding you lies for attention. And the other is people who just have a longer term vision and who don't look at all the flutter, all the day-to-day stuff, but just look at, I'm tunnel visioning into a crypto I think will do well over the next multiple years. Whatever happens in between, I don't care. You have a lot of people along that boat. To get back to it though, if you're wondering, there's two main important things to say. One is, I think everybody's still waiting for the lawsuit to be officially over. Like, we can state XRP is not a security and it's nice, but in reality, crypto fights with regards to regulations are still being fought every day, right? When it comes to Binance, to Coinbase, you can go on that list for a little while. But even Ripple specifically, with regards to their fine, etc., and how they're going to pay that, it's not fully clear. And I think that might be one of the main reasons why people are holding off a little bit to figure out and see how that ends. That is one part as to why the excitement is slightly dimmed ever so slightly. But I think the most important part, and people ask me this every day, and I think it's very simple. I think the XRP price ain't doing too much because in every cycle previously, XRP was a late bloomer, meaning Bitcoin went on to its heights, XRP didn't do anything, and it's only the moment that Bitcoin started to kind of crumble back down that XRP went on a meteoric rally. And I think here again, if it's going to do something, you'd expect it to be in unison with other cryptos, but previously it's done it a couple months after the majority of other coins were going, and it was very uncorrelated with the market. It could be that once there's another hype wave, that happens again. And as a baseline, I think hype is just fading because the price has not made a massive move in a good while. And there's two things. Again, I keep splitting them up, but on the one hand, people are fearful because, and that can be partially attributed because the price is not moving a long while. So they're fearful their investment will ever go up, and partially that they're missing out for something else. That's the one line. And on the opposite side, there's just nothing too crazy and exciting going on. And if you don't see a flickering light in front of you all day, you move on. That's at least what I've seen in a lot of people in the comment section. Now, again, let's rebase things. I personally think that if you're investing into something, then you've analyzed everything, right? And so has that changed the question? If the answer is yes, perfect. Go for whatever you think is best now. If the answer is no, then you've invested in it for a certain reason. And then you got to decide again, have the times changed now then? Like, for example, is it the wrong time in a cycle? Or has the company messed up so my initial analysis is now invalid? If so, yeah, okay, move on. If the answer is no, nothing's changed, no, but yeah, I did do my research before, it's just not very exciting, then, well, we just have to wait for the exciting part, right? And I've said it many times before, I think the $1 mark is a key point, but in reality, it's just any sort of rally for XRP, I think will ignite so much FOMO, it's going to be insane. But getting there has been the hard part. I mean, if we've been looking at the price action, I mean, we can all clearly see it's been an uptrend for what? Since June of 2022, prices have only been going up. So I don't think anybody, and I never accept this as a little as a complaint. I don't think anybody should be allowed to complain about the price because it's up 85% or so in a very short amount of time. Any traditional investor would have kissed your boots for an 85% return in this short of a time frame. And, well, again, if we're looking at it, we've been building a freaking breakout for years now. It's just been a building and building and building. But that's the point. If we're looking at the chart here, it's been a lot of interesting moves. Like, for example, when the lawsuit concluded, sure. But nothing too crazy, nothing too spectacular. Whereas Ethereum's structure, even though right now it's not too crazy, it's nothing too fancy at all. Instead of only 80% on XRP, did about 220 or so percent. Or right now, let's say 150 or so percent that it's up. And Bitcoin also in a similar field from the bottom, going up roughly 220% right now at roughly 170% up. But that gets me interested in looking at the longer term XRP chart. Here's, for example, the chart that includes the 2017-2018 pump. Here's it from a monthly perspective. And what becomes interesting is to see is that how even, or I should say that even over this time frame, it seems still that we are waiting for some sort of breakout. I'm not even trying to do any technical analysis. It's just a matter of we had ourselves a massive spike. We had ourselves an initial bottom, massive spike, made a higher bottom, a massive spike, but not as great. Again, higher bottom, and now again, because of the whole lawsuit, a spike, but not so great before, depending on what the market does, finding a new bottom and continuing on. XRP, in that instance, has been one of the most unfortunate cryptos. It's not unique. I think about 80% of the cryptos are on the XRP front because the bull market is starting, but we're not really there. And some coins have greatly outperformed, but trust me when I say that most altcoins are still very much dead, and a lot of people are not happy with their performance because it's not the season for it yet. It's still Bitcoin for the most part, with some altcoins doing crazy. It's not full-fledged alt season yet. It still has to come. But to refer back to it, it's still pretty unlucky that the breakout has just not happened yet, and some believe it'll never happen. I personally still think that it doesn't make sense for me to sell it, because I do believe the moment that it does make a move, and that's the only kicker I've got, that we need some sort of excitement wave, lawsuit related or Ripple related, it could be anything. But then the moment it does go, it's going to be ripping, because that's how it moves every single time. Just look at the previous ones, right? All these months, you see how quick and how crazy the gains looked. This is all, you see, this green candle, this green candle, this green candle, all three of those are in the span of 1 month. And again, I want to reiterate that the craziest of performance here in these two candles, right, going from 23 cents to roughly what, $3.30 in the span of 2 months or so. This happened, right, when this month right here, this November month, is when Bitcoin made its all-time high back in 2017. Right here in this month, Bitcoin made an all-time high. And you can see the 2 months afterwards, XRP went another 15x. And obviously the 2021 run, we can't fully compare because XRP/Ripple was in a lawsuit. But you can see Bitcoin had a massive run up starting, after the dip in March of 2020, ending it at roughly November of 2021. And even though XRP indeed started the rally at the same time, found itself a juicy bottom in March of 2020, started to go on a massive run up with some crazy gains in November here. It had a massive shutdown because of the lawsuit in December. But then interestingly enough, still had a massive pump afterwards, except for that second wave. That FOMO wave here that previously happened after Bitcoin made its all-time high in, you can see here, the end of November, early weeks of December. Once more, I'll show you. This is that all-time high week for Bitcoin. This week right here. And you can see how many weeks afterwards XRP went on a crazy rally back then. But then the second time around, so back in 2021, on top here is Bitcoin, on bottom here is XRP. It's interesting that XRP had the same flow as before. Bitcoin is going up a lot already since March here. You can see just how crazy it was going. And XRP between March and November was actually kind of chilling here still. Again, you can see, right, where Bitcoin up to November, so from March 2020 to November 2020, was up like 450%. XRP, let's quickly check this out. From March of 2020, up to, let's just call it November here, was up what? Right there, up 133%, while Bitcoin was already up 400 whatnot percent. So basically the gains just come a lot later. But this time around though, when XRP went for a rally, it was kind of at the same time. But then the second rally, XRP didn't participate. Point being, like that crazy momentum, that crazy hype wave, which Ethereum, all these other altcoins got, which led people to believe there's so much more coming and more potential for price spikes, etc. It's just been lacking. And I think it just takes that one spark. And if you're still here, I commend you, because damn, it's been a long ride. But at the end of the day, I personally feel as if the moment you give up, that's when things will go absolutely crazy. And how I've been doing it is I've just had my XRP in a long-term stash, not looking at it ever, not touching it ever, and just doing a lot of other cool stuff on the side. If you only have one coin, then what are you doing? But people ask me, Dusty, have you lost your faith? First of all, I don't really call it faith. I call it a rigorous analysis of all the probabilities. And I personally see here what has a very high probability is that the XRP price still goes for a very FOMO type of run at some point. The community is not dead. A lot of people are just very tired, and we see that in the price as well. We notice that people are not as hyped up as they were before. And so, to conclude it, there are two options. Either it takes so long and there's so many gains elsewhere that too many people give up, and it's give up time. Which, by the way, might mean that people regret it later, because I do believe the price will still rip regardless of what I'm saying now. I do believe the price will still probably do very well. Because every coin does really good in altcoin season. So it's very hard for XRP not to do it. And the second option is there's this one spike that just comes soon or whenever. And it's going to bring a lot of the excitement back plus more. Because at that point, people can start speculating, get excited again. And once people get excitement, once people see a little bit of a pump going, things just go so much faster. But it's just waiting for that initial push that's really, really annoying to a lot of people. But these are just my thoughts. And I want you guys to comment down below if you're tired, in the sense of you've given up, you're still holding XRP, yes or no. Just a couple of questions I'd like to get answered from you guys. Because I'm personally still here. I make less videos about the news because there's less news about it. But truth be told, I'd be very happy to talk to you guys about all the possibilities, talk to you guys about cool tech updates. It just depends on how many people are excited for it, even if the update video doesn't move the price, if you understand where I'm coming from. And that's why we're talking a lot more about Bitcoin and the major moves instead of some specific altcoins. It's because I think right now is more an important time to focus on Bitcoin and the general crypto market before later on moving back into specific altcoins, and sometimes making a specific altcoin video whenever it's proper, because there's crazy amounts of excitement or something specific attached to it. So once more, if you're impatient, yeah, there's not much to tell you. This is the game of crypto you're playing. If you're unexcited, bored, find out some cool ways to diversify your portfolio with things a little bit more scary, a little bit worse for the heart. And if you're just wondering, will XRP still do well? The best answer I can give you is nobody really knows, but following logical probability, the price will most likely still do pretty crazy. And I personally would not be too satisfied to not see XRP go above $10, $12 this cycle. A lot of you guys in the comments are asking for way higher prices. I'm just saying everything's good, but I'm like seeing that as a baseline for where it should be going. And the whole grayscale debacle has proven to us, Ripple selling, it ain't that big a deal. It's just, it's partially a demand issue. But then I sometimes look at guys like DAI and even 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and that keeps me thinking, guys, realistically, the hype is still here. But there's just no real need for anybody to go crazy and FOMO in or something. But I do believe that would change as something happens, just something, but we need that initial spark. So again, that's my cup of tea. I just wanted to give you guys an update again, because I notice whenever I look at the comments, people ask very often to give an update on XRP. Still holding. It's still not one of the best performers. Actually, it's one of the worst performers, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I've been analyzing this before for a while. For me, it's a long-term hold, so I don't really mind at all. But anyway, I hope you guys are able to sit through all this. I hope you guys will smash that like button if you still enjoy these daily crypto updates. And let me know what you'd like to see an update on next, or a video on next. More XRP, less XRP, some more insightful XRP strategies, where I'm selling my XRP, or am I selling my XRP? Where would I buy XRP? Would I still buy XRP? Which other coins am I buying? All that type of stuff. Just let me know down below. I take a look at every single comment, every single video. And like I always say, if XRP doesn't hit $100, I basically got scammed.